Hello, everybody. Christy here from Version of You 2.0, and today is our very last Facebook Live 30-minute snack-sized training on our Relationship with You series. So I have done 5 of these so far. This is number 6. And next week, there will not be any training, but the following Monday, December 6th, is when we start our 5-day workshop. So if you haven't already opted in for the workshop, please be aware that you can do so at any time. I can always send you the link to opt in. The reason why it's really worth you opting in is because right now, when you opt into the 5-day workshop, you actually get added onto my VIP list. And my VIPs right now are getting, well, a free goal setting session with me and a whole bunch of bonuses. So I've triggered all of that for them because they took the initiative to go ahead and opt into the workshop. I will be offering the workshop on Zoom. So part of being a VIP is that you actually get more access to me, where you get to chat, ask questions, and I will actually answer those questions as part of the workshop. Whereas if you're going to watch live through Facebook, there's a delay in your comments. So while I will still go back and answer your questions in the comments, it's not quite as interactive. So if you haven't already, please join me by opting into the 5-day workshop so that you can get any of the bonuses that are left to be distributed. They come out on Mondays and Wednesdays up until the 6th. So I think, do we have any more left? I can't do the math. I've been up since, I think I only went to bed at 3 o'clock this morning. Yeah, so you still have 2 more bonuses that you have access to. So get in on the bonuses. And let's just go ahead and dive right into, oops, I just lost my Zoom. Let's go ahead and dive right into today's final training. And this one's super juicy because this one elaborates on your relationship with your body. And with the work that I do in helping women overcome their relationship issues with food, with their bodies, body image, weight loss, it is their relationship with their bodies that if we can, it's the words I want to use, if we can help you to heal that relationship, we can expedite your results exponentially. Okay, so I offer a program that is a 4-month-long program. It's essentially you going to college or university to learn about you. Okay, it is an extremely extensive program, but the reason that it is so extensive is because the weight loss programs that are out there for you right now don't work. You know this, right? And so I designed this program to really focus on the psychology. You have to be able to address your overeating behaviors. You have to be able to address your relationship with your body. You have to be able to address all of the triggers that led to you feeling like you are overweight, not making yourself a priority, putting everybody else's needs first, not being motivated, not being consistent. All of these are psychological aspects to emotional attachments that have created these behaviors of you not taking care of yourself, right? So this program really focuses on dealing with those emotional attachments. Because you can go on Google today and you can look up clean eating and you can get 5,000 million free options to choose from. Do it, go for it. The more information, the better. But if you don't have the a better understanding of your self-sabotaging behaviors and how to address your self-sabotaging behaviors, then the likelihood of you having permanent weight loss is reduced exponentially. Right? So today, the training is really designed around you just kind of opening up your mind and your heart to being able to accept your body, right? So it's not to say that you can't choose to lose weight, but it's about recognizing that you can lose weight and still love the body that you're in. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into that right now. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Here we go. Just going to minimize me so that I'm not in my way. All right, so let's get started. Welcome back for another training in the Relationship with You series. And as I said to you already, this is the last training of this series. If you've missed any of them, you can find them in the guide section of the Weight Loss Strategies for Women's private Facebook group. And just to really quickly recap from last week, I asked you to identify your current health status. Are you overweight? Do you feel like you've lost control over your body? Are the old ways of dropping those unwanted pounds not working for you anymore? Are you working out and eating healthily, but still don't see or feel any signs of weight loss? I've actually been working on with my VIPs for the workshop coming up, and the consistent problem whenever we're working on the goal setting session together has been that, you know, what used to work in the past is no longer working anymore. And there's this sense of just not really knowing how to lose the weight anymore. Kind of having this feeling of a lost sense of control. Sorry, I suppose I don't need to have that highlighted. Are your blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar levels high? How about your cholesterol? And what about your digestive system? Are you suffering from bloating and other symptoms of discomfort? Are you feeling frustrated, confused, and completely unsure about how to regain control over your health status? Have you been prescribed medication and are feeling uneasy about taking it? Now, I introduced you to a transformation paradigm last week. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Then I had you consider how your body image and relationship with your body affected other areas of your life, like your sex life. And I drew a correlation between how we treat our bodies and how that spreads into different areas of our lives. And today I'm going to help you to release some of those negative emotions that you have with regards to your body. So I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to discuss, to introduce myself to you. But first, I'm just going to see if I can see if you have any questions. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let me take just a few minutes to introduce myself. I won't be very long. I am attempting to disrupt the weight loss industry by sharing with you the truths about the industry and how it can be done differently. So I already talked to you about my university or college level program that I have to offer you. And the concept is basically just to make sure that we focus on the psychological aspects as well as the physiological aspects of your weight loss so that we can create permanent weight loss. Now, I'm going to be introducing you to my Weight Loss Accelerator program in the workshop that I'm offering when you register for the free Shrink Your Waistline and Expand Your Mind workshop. In this particular workshop, you learn to understand the different body archetypes and how unique you are. And that's kind of the biggest takeaway from all this, is that we don't fit into the mold that the weight loss industry has set, okay? And you need to understand that. The reason for this is because I want you to also learn to better understand your self-sabotaging behavior so that you come away with some clarity around why the weight loss industry fails you, so that you're not spending your money out there, you know, knowing that New Year's resolutions are coming up. My program is designed for women who are sick and tired of being sick and tired, who realize that they no longer have control over their health and are willing to invest their time and money into improving their health. With a wide variety of resources, tools, techniques, we work through self-sabotage, nutrition, exercise, prescription, gut health, and health markers like blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, and more. You come away understanding your behavior patterns, having replaced those patterns with new healthy habits and the tools to help you to keep the weight off permanently. So let's dive into today's discussion about how your decisions in the last 2 to 5 years have impacted your health. Now, here's a quick caveat for you. Although I'm targeting the last 2 to 5 years, just in some initial questioning that I have for you, understand that your behaviors were imprinted a long time ago. And we're going to be identifying that today as well. You have repeatedly acted out these behaviors in various ways. Now, we're only looking at those behaviors that have impacted your health in order to keep this within a 30-minute segment. But be very aware that last week's paradigm is reality. How you do one thing is how you do everything, meaning your actions, your behaviors, your decision-making has most definitely impacted more than just your health. So today's transformation paradigm is nothing changes in the world or in anyone else until you change you. This paradigm is compelling, and what it means is that you're in control of your experiences. Your interpretation of what you read, what you see, and the meaning you make in how people react and respond is always in your control. If you can change how you think, then you can change how you feel. So let's dive in. How have the decisions that you've made in the last 2 to 5 years impacted your relationship with your body? Okay, so we're just being really specific with the time frame here. What have been the influencers that have negatively affected your relationship with your body just within this time frame, the last 2 to 5 years? Social media posts, filters and Photoshop pictures, the news, reality TV, longer working hours, and higher performance-based expectations, which has ultimately led to convenience-based eating habits, increased number of diet plans and exercise prescriptions on the marketplace today, or in the marketplace today. So what has influenced you in the last 2 to 5 years in how you see and feel about yourself, and more specifically about your body? So these are just some examples, but I want you starting to think about that, right? The reason being is a lot of us know what we don't want, but we don't really know what we do want. And I need you to identify ways in which you're sabotaging your relationship with your body and ways in which you're influenced in your relationship with your body, right? The more that we can become aware of these things, the more that we can actually take control of how we're going to respond to them. So let's move on. So my next line of questioning for you is a little bit broader along the timeline of your life. Okay, so the first series of questions that I had for you was just more specific to the last 2 to 5 years and how, what has influenced your relationship with your body in the last couple of years. However, this one goes a little bit deeper. Okay, and I'm gonna kind of wave the flag here and say this line of questioning can be triggering, and the slides that are coming next can also be triggering. And if that's not the place that you're in today, if you can't handle that, I 100% respect that. So please go ahead and pause. Know that this is being recorded and you can watch this in the guide section at a later date. Okay, so you ready? Who in your life, venturing down the timeline of your life between the ages of 3 and 25, has negatively influenced your body image? Was it your mother, father, sister, brother, or best friend? Was it the result of a traumatic experience? Now listen, I am not asking you to relive anything. And remember that you can't go back in time and relive a moment as it's already passed. But you can review it and interpret it, which is what I'm asking of you now. So think back now between the ages of 3 and 25, and possibly a little bit earlier if you need to, or a little bit later in your life. So you feel free to expand on that timeline if it's relevant to you. And where do you see moments along that timeline that has negatively affected your perception of your body? Who had the greatest influence? Was it a female? And here's a kind of a great kind of thought process that I want you to work through. With a female, it's really possible that they were mirroring their own self-imposed expectations and judgments onto you, or said differently, it is very possible that because they had self-image issues with themselves, self-confidence and self-worth issues with themselves, that they projected that onto you. That what they said to you, what they asked of you, how they critiqued you, judged you, or provided feedback was never really about you or your body, but was about how they felt about themselves and their body. I want you to think about that. If it was a male influence who made you feel inadequate, small, weak, or unsafe, I want you to consider the negative self-image that came from, and recognize now that those beliefs had nothing to do with your body. So in one situation, we have a person reflecting what they wanted for themselves and what they wanted for themselves. And in another case, we have a person who is reflecting their own lack of security, their own sense of lack of confidence. And they may have asserted themselves onto you to steal yours. So the male influence probably felt inadequate and therefore made you feel inadequate, small, weak, and unsafe in potentially them asserting themselves onto you. Now, what we would call those individuals, male or female, is energy vampires. That basically anyone who seeks to suck the energy out of somebody to prop themselves up would be an energy vampire. And typically we see those in bullies, right? We know that bullies have their own sense of self-confidence issues. And in order to feel better about themselves, they make other people feel weaker. So if you think about this from a frequency perspective, there are people who live on different frequencies in a spectrum. And the people who live on the lower frequencies, they don't have the capacity to up-level themselves, to make themselves feel better. So what they do instead is they bring people down to their frequency. Okay, and that's how they're able to communicate. Sorry, I didn't notice I had that up. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on and just kind of breathe here if this is creating some pressure in your chest or some discomfort in your stomach or in your throat, okay? So when we begin to realize the storyline's origin or the story's origin, when we start to see where we started to shame our bodies, or, you know, and kind of how that never had anything to do with us, we can kind of dissociate ourselves a little bit more from the shame and the guilt and the emotional attachments we have to not liking our body. So we realized that was never about us feeling like we had an ugly body, that it was just somebody else's story that they projected onto us, or it was somebody else's lack of confidence that made us feel small, weak, unsafe, and just not strong enough. Our bodies rarely have anything to do with the beliefs that we've created about our bodies. Right? So I've got a little exercise for you that's going to help you to release some of these traumas that you have inside of yourself right now. So with this newfound awareness that the underlying feelings you have about your body may be distorted beliefs, Let's release these feelings to move you closer along your path of healing and transformation. I want to introduce you to an experiential exercise where you permit yourself to participate fully. All you have to do is sit tall with your feet on the ground, close your eyes, and just actively listen. To let in new instructions and neural patterns to improve your relationship with your body, you need to release the stored trauma and to let go. Now, this is a very short exercise that you can do virtually anywhere, okay? Outside of actually physically driving the car, because I'm asking you to close your eyes. So let's begin, okay? So sit tall with your feet on the ground, close your eyes, and just open your ears. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and start to take note of any tension in your body. Scanning from the top of your head all the way to the tips of your toes. Feel your feet rooted into the ground, giving you a stable and safe place to be. Take another deep breath in and start to gather up all those feelings that have been attached to your experiences in trying to lose weight. Gather up all of those negative thoughts and judgments that you made over the years about who you are as a person and as a woman. And as you begin to exhale, just allow those emotions, thoughts, and pictures to release one by one. Continue to breathe in and out at a pace that feels just right for you. With each exhale, continue to let go, noticing how your body lightens with each exhale, each release. Notice any and all sensations present in your body. Now that all of those negative thoughts and judgments have been released, you have a really beautiful opportunity to choose what you would like to create moving forward. Imagine a fresh start, one that is empowering, open, accepting, and inviting. Just notice, what might this look like? Or what might this feel like in your body? What are some of the thoughts that you might tell yourself that make this all possible? Take one more deep breath in and really soak that in through your muscles, bones, and deep into your heart, throat, and stomach. And if there are any remaining negative emotions, know that you can continue to exhale them out. And I want you to come back to me now, moving around gently and just opening your mind, opening your eyes up. Now, this is just a very short exercise, and all it does is it gives you an opportunity to practice stillness, to practice something called coming to your senses, which I'll get into in a couple more slides when it comes time for your homework. But that's it. That's all you have to do. So what was this experience like for you? How easy was it to feel those emotions? Did they come to the surface? Or how detached did you remain? What thoughts came to mind that distanced you from actually doing this exercise? Did you try and then feel restless? Did you tell yourself, nah, I'm just going to listen to what she has to say, but not really actively participate? That's okay. But I want you to be aware of what just happened for you in that experience. This simple exercise is actually quite challenging to do. Despite it taking all of 2 minutes of your time, it requires an openness and willingness to sit with your body and not really think, instead to feel what, if anything, comes up. And believe it or not, that's actually meditation. Meditation is this stillness that we allow ourselves to feel in order for our bodies to safely release stored trauma and just let it go. There are reasons why you feel physical symptoms, and I want you to pay very close attention to this. There are reasons why you are triggered when you feel scared, lonely, sad, depressed, or angry. Why you've got these physiological symptoms that get expressed. It's because when we're emotionally traumatized, we store these motor responses and emotional attachments in specific areas of our body. When your throat feels constricted or it's hard to speak, the stored trauma in your throat usually represents not feeling like you're being heard, considered, or important, that you've been dismissed in some way. When you hold stored trauma in your gut, this is usually the result of fear-based emotional attachments. And with the neck and shoulders, it's a sense of feeling overburdened, having boundary issues, and self-worth issues. We store our feelings in our bodies, so it's no wonder why we hate our bodies. It's not really our bodies we hate, it's the experiences and the emotional attachments we make that are expressed in our bodies. So when we look at ourselves in the mirror and we see these curves and we can't accept the body that we have, it's the result of emotional attachments we have to experience we've had in the past. Is that starting to make sense for you? And what I want you to recognize is some of those experiences that we've had in the past may have nothing to do with your body, as we talked about earlier. Here's an example of how my body releases or kind of talks to me. When I eat chocolate, I get pimples. I've got one here and one here because I just ate chocolate just a couple days ago. My body understands that sugar is actually really toxic for me. I'm really, my predisposition is diabetes and metabolic syndrome. So my body does not like sugar. So my body understands that sugar is very toxic to me, so does its job by schooling me when I choose to ignore the health of my body. Now, this is just a simple example. A more complex or traumatic experience is that I lost my voice over 1.5 years and was originally diagnosed with vocal cord nodules. Later in life, when I was diagnosed with PTSD, it was the issues surrounding the PTSD that led to my diagnosis of selective mutism. So selective mutism is the inability to speak or to find your voice when you're feeling stressed or unsafe. So I want you to recognize that our bodies store these traumas and our body shows us these traumas in different ways. And when you give yourself these opportunities to release the trauma that lives inside of you, you end up with this whole new relationship with your body. And I think that's really important for you to understand as part of your weight loss journey. So second last slide here. So here's your homework. I want you to practice quiet time 2 times a day. So it's 10 to 15 minutes of sitting by a window with your back propped up and your head free to move around and your feet grounded on the floor. And I want you just to breathe. I want you to close your eyes and practice coming to your senses. This is just a technique used to calm your mind and focus on what you see behind your closed eyelids, what you hear in the distance of your surroundings, how your body feels, how your skin feels, and what flavors or non-flavors that you can taste in your mouth. If feelings start to emerge in this 10 to 15 minute experience, allow them to surface and flow through your body. It actually only takes about 90 seconds for an emotion to come up and be released, but know that you can have emotional waves as your body releases several different emotional traumas that may exist. And if you have these waves, just know that that is okay. That the more that the feelings come up, the more that you are freeing yourself of them. So don't analyze, try to make sense, or criticize yourself for whatever emotions surface, okay? It doesn't matter the why, only that these stored emotions are actually being released. And of course, book a call with me if you need more guided one-on-one support, and register for my Shrink Your Waistline workshop if you haven't already. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It is 12 o'clock. I always appreciate it when you show up to play full out. It demonstrates your desire and dedication to transform your life. With each of these simple exercises and awareness building activities I provided you over these past 6 trainings, you have been able to incorporate simple action steps that create permanent habit change. So thank you for choosing you and following me, and allowing me into your life. Obviously, if you're interested in learning more about how you continue this journey, I am never far. I'm only a phone call away. Here's to showing up for you. Thank you for your time. Have yourself a fantastic rest of your day. Peace.